Wow, it is quite interesting to have you join us again for another package of Nigeria's hottest TV debate show, The Big Issue. Our concern on this show is to bring issues up to discussion level, thereby drawing attention to areas of life that will help us make more meaning out of what seems chaotic on the surface. The Big Issue is not a game show, and that means we do not have a winner or a loser on the show, but we always encourage you to take a stand on matters of life. I can assure you today's episode is another fireworks in the making, so you'll be doing yourself a great deal of good to stay with us till the end of the show. When we come back, we will unveil the controversy for today, and of course, you also get to meet my speakers. Welcome to The Big Issue. Now, some days ago, the government body responsible for the conduct and of admission into tertiary institutions in Nigeria, that is the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, otherwise known as Jamb, reverted an earlier decision of posting or reassigning candidates applying to universities with surplus applicants to other universities with lower number of applicants than their capacities. The new policy had given Jamb the power to allot candidates to either public or private institutions of higher learning, irrespective of the choices made by the candidate before writing the board's examination. While trying to justify the earlier decision, Jamb Registrar Professor Dibo Jerinde had claimed that almost half of the 1.4 million candidates that sat for the 2015 examination will not be able to secure admission into tertiary institutions in the country. But after a series of protests and, of course, condemnations across Nigeria, Jamb's public relations officer, Mr. Fabian Benjamin, said candidates can now sit for the post-unified tertiary matriculation examination, that is post-UTME, in the institutions, particularly universities to which they had earlier applied. For the Nigerian Union of Teachers, the policy of reassigning candidates by Jamb is not in the best interest of the education sector. The Union General Secretary Obong described the policy as derogatory and highly discriminatory. But in its own reaction, the National Association of Nigerian Students, NAN, simply called for the scrapping of Jamb over what it described as anti-student and exploitative policies of that board. On the other side, many people have commended Jamb for coming up with the policy. They say it is a good way to help improve the standard of tertiary education, as the institutions will now be able to pay more attention to the training of their students, thereby producing employable graduates for the nation's workforce. They also argue that the policy will also help to discourage what many describe as cash and carry education, where parents with deeper pockets can buy admission for their children, whether they are qualified or not for such admission. What about you? What do you think? Who should be responsible for the admission into schools of higher learning in Nigeria? Has Jamb really outlived its relevance in the country? Should the government simply scrap the board? Will that not leave the admission process in the hands of the few wealthy Nigerians? Will it not encourage what is popularly known as cash and carry education? What are your thoughts? Now, as you gather your thoughts, just hold on. When we return, I will introduce my speakers for today and we will get talking. The name is Oba Adeoye. The show is The Big Issue. Wow, this is The Big Issue. On the show, everybody has an opinion, even the viewers at home. You also can join us on our social media platform. On Twitter, our handle is at TVC Big Issue, while on Facebook, our page is TVC Big Issue. We also have a live studio audience here with us And when the time comes, they will also have the opportunity of sharing their opinions by way of asking questions and sharing their experiences about the issue at hand today. Now, let's meet our speakers for today. Dr. Suraj Olunifesi is a researcher and, of course, a university lecturer at the Adebola Adegunwa School of Communication, Lagos State University, LASU, Surulere campus. Dr. Olunifesi believes in the autonomy of tertiary institutions to determine how students are admitted for academic programs. He says, although Jamb plays an important role, the schools should have the final say in admission matters. Doctor, thanks for joining us on the big issue. And of course, Mr. Oludotun Sodunke is an education consultant and a rights activist. Mr. Sodunke belongs to the school of thought that believes that there is a great danger ahead if the schools are given a free hand to determine who gets admission for various academics programs. Mr. Sodunke, nice to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, gentlemen, let me quickly acquaint you with the structure of the show. This is the first segment of the show where I'll be asking questions. I'll be asking questions, and you try as much as possible to create foundation for your respective lines of argument. After that, I'll take my leave. I'll find a space among the audience there. I'll leave the two of you to each other. You'll be asking questions. You'll be puncturing each other's argument. And of course, when the time comes, my esteemed studio audience here, I'll turn the mic over to them for them to have their own say on the issue at hand. Today, we are looking at who should be responsible for tertiary institution admission. Should it be Jamb? That is the body responsible for the conduct of examination and admission into tertiary institutions, or the school authorities. Mr. Sodunke, who should be responsible?
Well, I believe that Jamb should be left alone to continue to perform that function of allowing students and being responsible to students to be admitted into university.
Doctor?
Yeah, thank
Jamb.
you, Mr. Moderator. Well, Jamb has jumped so many students out of the university system. And Jamb, for me, has lost its relevance. It was once an intervention program by the federal government. Act that set up Jamb is Act 2 of 1978. And it has the three prolonged factors to it. 45% merit, 35% catchment area, and 20% less privilege. That time, we have 13 federal universities in the country. And so Jamb was put up to address these three areas. But after 1980, when we begin to have state universities, and 1990, private universities, Jamb lost its relevance. All those issues that Jamb is supposed to address is no longer feasible. And Jamb has become problematic. Jamb has become chaotic. Jamb has become insensitive. Jamb has become...
Mr. Sodunke, you agree with me that the opening remarks of Dr. Olunifesi as Jamb.
I must commend doctor's gesticulation. That's a very nice one. We have come here, you know, I will advise him and I will appeal to him. I know he's a PhD holder. They have this vocabulary in their pockets, right? We should come to the level of ordinary people. Do you understand? This is a matter that concerns ordinary Nigeria. A woman selling akara should understand my argument today. How are we going to live the lives of our youth in the hands of the so-called academic?
The universities.
The universities,
the
yes. The professors, the doctors. The problem, whatever problem we have in Nigeria now, they are the source. Are the schools itself, are they settled? The only man that is giving Jamb problem is a professor. And they all know the name of the man. And like the name, the tag that people give me now, the book killer. I'm not the book killer. The problem
you just mentioned the name now.
The book killer.
Okay.
Professor Dibo Jerry.
I wanted you to say.
They know the name too. Or you don't know the name. Now, just one professor handling Jamb is giving Jamb problem. When Salim was there, Jamb was peaceful.
Was he not a professor?
He was a professor, right? That's what I'm saying, that we have good professors and we have the other side. But we have more of them that are delinked from reality. Now we are talking about the people that are just theorists. They are just theorists. They can tell you everything in a book. Put it to practice, there will be problem. Professor Dibo Jeride was interviewed to react. The other day that I went for an interview on one popular TV station, you could see how a professor was stuttering. These people can come out with good policy. They can gesticulate the way my brother just did. They can tell you this, tell you that, tell you that. Put it to practice. Wahala. How are we going to leave admission process in the hands of this school? It's going to be left. That means admission will be cash and carry. It will be few people. We are talking about people. It will be the VC. Do you know what they call concessional admission? Have you heard of that? He just mentioned 45% merits. What happens to the second list? How does one enter there? You don't need to pass too much. All that you need in Unilag is score 40 over 100 in post-Jamb. Make sure you score 200 in Jamb. And you are in second list medicine. Meanwhile, somebody that scored 280, right, in Jamb, that scored 70 in post-Jamb, will not be able to enter. Is it Jamb that caused that? That is their power. The little power they've been given, they have misused that power. If I decide to be quiet, then something is wrong somewhere.
I don't know if you listen to Professor Segun Ajiboye, he's the chairman of the ASU.
Actually, I don't like listening to professors because they are up there. They are detached.
He's criticizing
They are not. He's criticizing Jamb. Let me tell you, it's for their pockets. Unilag makes more money than Dangote company.
Really?
Yes. Unilag right now is selling diploma form. You can't come in, doctor. Unilag is selling diploma form for 25,000 naira per head. 25,000 naira. And over 50,000 students, that is 1.47 billion naira, will be made on form. Just paper. Ordinary, you know what I'm saying. After which they will conduct exam for them and choose less than 5,000. Now these 5,000 people will pay almost 500,000 per head for their year one. And there's no guarantee that they will get the course of their choice in year two. And because they will join others in year two, the school are deliberately reduced those that will come in through Jamb. Jamb does not have any problem. Let's restructure Jamb. Put people that are on the field in Jamb, and you see Jamb performing wonders.
He just told us now that the University of Lagos makes more money than Dangote.
Yes.
I don't know if they will employ me any of this date anyway. But is LASU will also make him as much money as University of Lagos?
Well, Mr. Moderator, I quite sympathize with Mr. And then, I like his passion, actually. And he has said something that will be very objective. Let's be very objective. I have the interest of students in mind. Jamb has a story, and we know their story. And so we know the story when they are conducting paper tests. We know how many hands, how many money change hands. We know how many scores are jam-packed. When they start the web stories also, these so-called computer-based, we know their stories. We know many servers that are down, and many students are left on their own. We know many people that could not enter because why? Because when they get to the center and Jamb does not have solution for that servers, those students they are at a loss. And nobody come able to do anything against them. Now, you see, when you talk about academics, let me tell you something. There's a way we work. When Tertiary say that we leave this student in the hand of these academics, Jamb will only conduct one examination. We conduct the rest. Is that it? Your year one, your 2 year 3, year 4, we conduct it. So invariably, you are still going to be in our hands.
Yes.
So why not be in our hands right from the beginning?
No.
Now, and the issue is just this.
They are even saying they don't want to be in your hands. They are saying no.
Look,
they are saying no.
I want us to look at this thing very objectively. You see, the issue is just this. You see, when you look at Jamb, as for example, okay, let me ask you a question. Why should Jamb dictate to me the kind of school I should go to? Why should Jamb? You see, tell me that my first score after that first year is no longer relevant. When SAT and TOEFL, 3 years, they are still relevant. Why should Jamb tell me that, okay, I choose public universities? From the records of Jamb, for consecutive 2 years, 98% of students have been choosing public universities. Because they know the reason why they should buy universities. They don't have the money for these private universities.
Yes.
Why should Jamb ask me to go to private universities? Why should Jamb set a question, set a standard by saying, okay, the cut-off mark is going to be 180, and you elevated some school, University of Ilorin, University of Lagos, IMSU, to go up a bit. And then when you said you scaled up their cut-off mark a bit, and you are now saying that you justify it by saying that it's because you want the school to admit good students. So what qualify other students to admit bad students? And why should 180 be the benchmark? Why not 200 be the benchmark? Why should Jamb? You see, dictate, would Jamb give me money to go to private university? Would Jamb also give me money? The logistics involved in moving for, okay, I took maybe UI. I stayed in that environment. Jamb said, because UI is so filled up, I should go to Akwa Ibom, where there's a private university.
There's no need of talking this.
Is Jamb going to pay my money to that place? Is Jamb going to pay the hotel money I'm going to use that place? Is Jamb going to finance my logistics when I get the admission to private university? Is Jamb going to pay the money? You see, Jamb have been talking three sides of their mouth. You see, Jamb is a confusion. And I tell you something. And that is why we say that university. So this, what is Jamb doing that university cannot do? That's the question.
Yes, I will say it. I will tell you what Jamb is doing that university cannot do. University,
they use our facility
please,
for this something.
Who is the person giving us problems in this university?
Don't you think doctor is giving us a lot of
let me tell you,
he's making a lot of things
probably doctor has listened to my interview and he's just reading out all that I use.
Mr. Sodunke, you are very passionate, I know, but let me give you these statistics. Yearly, about 1.6 million Nigerian youth purchase application forms sold by Jamb to compete for a little below 500,000 admission spaces.
Yes.
Don't you think, what happens to the remaining more than 500,000 students?
Do you know that
can the university just determine who comes to study what at their schools? Why must it be Jamb?
I love that question. The question has nothing. The solution to that problem has nothing to do with the university. In fact, they were the ones that caused the problem. Yes, the universities are the ones that caused the problem. Look at this man very well. This doctor, look at him very well. Fine, young, handsome man. Look at this man. I want you to collect his number. 2 years' time, you will not hear of his name in Nigeria. Brain drain is in the UK lecturing.
If it's good enough, they can take it.
He's in the UK lecturing. These students, they are not the cause of brain drain. There is brain drain. And school, being in charge of admission, cannot correct brain drain. No.
How many students do we have? And how many students do we have?
I am coming.
What happens to the other students?
There is population explosion in Nigeria.
Good point.
Right? But the solution, that what you just mentioned now is a problem.
Yes.
But the solution is not giving it to the student, to the school. If you give it to the school, I just told you now, Professor Dibo Ojerinde is from the school, from Ife. And only Professor Dibo Ojerinde is giving us this so much problem. By the time you give admission to this school, that means when they raise this, terrible policy, where they will just create one name, like the last one was eligibility policy.
You've not asked us, what is this
eligibility policy?
Okay.
The meaning is they just sat down, they look at the whole thing. After selling change of course form to these students, after the students are studied hard to pass CBT, there was no expo. Some of these universities you are talking about, they still do paper tests, where the paper can be found, we can, solve it and give it to students. But I'm talking about junior Jamb under President Dibo is not totally bad. He introduced CBT. CBT is a good thing.
Oh, that's a plus for him.
Yes, a plus for him. He introduced CBT. Today, there's no malpractice in Jamb. Unlike what we used to have. 2 weeks before exam, you see the paper everywhere. Now, after introducing that, these students, we talk to our students, over 350,000, students of our members, that okay, study very hard. And they did. And they passed their exam. For scoring 200 and above, they scored 200 majority at 6% compared to what we used to have. The next thing we had was that these same professors, Professor Dibo Ojerinde, Dr. D's registrar, Professor D's VC, they came together. They called the meeting policy meeting. They must have a name. Now, they now said, hey, we can't allow all of them to just go like that, like he explained. All that he explained now was not really the problem with Jamb. It was decided by Jamb and the so-called school that you want to take admission to now. So as to stop you people from gaining admission so that they can put in their diploma pre-degree students. I'm not finished. Now they feel me, Abi. Okay. Now they now brought in eligibility policy. That eligibility policy is like this, sir.
Okay.
They now said, okay, they will just look at me. Dotun Sodunke, that name, Osho, that is witchcraft. You can't go to Unilag. You are advised to go to Uni Osho because Osho and Osho, right? They will just look at you. I'm coming. They will just say, Oba, right? Okay, Oba should be in Oba University. Oba Femi Awolowo. Okay, Oba University. Oba should be there. Tell me, who is culpable? Who are the people that are doing this thing?
Okay.
This school.
Let's take it to doctor. Doctor, is it not true that
if that was the policy they
because sorry,
you will not become
Mr.
a doctor.
Is it not true, doctor, that because let me put it to you.
Okay.
Is it not true that because lecturers like you, the school authorities, you want to make more money more than Dangote and the rest of them?
Yes.
Because you want to sell forms.
Yes.
Because you want to sell diploma forms.
Yes.
You want to sell sandwich program forms and this and that. Is that not the reason why you are saying Jamb should be rested?
No, actually, like I said, I love his passion.
I love your passion too.
But you see, because we must deliberate, you see, in academics, we spend a lot of time deliberating on issues. You see, but the truth about it is this. Like you rightly said, well, you know, we did a study. There's a study. And that study, we tried to look at, in fact, I'm sharpening another one again now. Now, that study shows that, see, what's actually being performance? Data doesn't lie. You know that. Now, we look at those students who have graduated. What was their Jamb score when they were coming in? What was their, what do you call it, post-Jamb? And we look at NYEC. Honestly, I can put it to that paper. We saw that there was no correlation between Jamb and the performance. And then what now happened eventually is this. When universities saw that there's a big trend happening, we didn't start all this pre-degree, all this, just like that. We didn't start, we gave chance time. We saw that Jamb was not giving us the raw materials, the good raw materials. How do you explain somebody who did Jamb for 7 years? I have a student, he came out with first class. She was the best throughout the whole faculty. She did Jamb 7 times.
7 times?
7 times.
That's 7 years.
7 years. And when she came eventually, when she was coming out, she was the best student after all. Now, tell me.
7 times, and she never considered marriage or just,
well,
I don't know. Because
but the issue I'm driving at is this. You see, we saw that, look, we can't continue like this. You know, before 1978, university conducted their admission. Consider those graduates of those days to what is happening with now. Employers are crying. These products are not good. And we don't have a say in the product that we are taking in. So universities are saying, okay, that's no problem. We won't fight with Jamb. What we're going to do is that we will give students choice. Now that guy now that have 7 times couldn't get in, okay, he will have gotten in if we have something like a pre-degree. We will train the student through, remember something, when they come through pre-degree diploma, they're not a student too. They're not a student. You will become a student when you have satisfied some conditions that we set down, CGP, and that is why Jamb is even say provisional admission. Now, when you come in, so that, okay, we'll train you in first year. We'll see, and we'll give you choices. So that we'll tell you, you are not good in this area. I want to try this area. That is the essence, that's the philosophy behind all this diploma, all this, what do you call it, it's not to make money.
Well, you're also making money.
Yes,
500,000 naira.
Listen,
how much did you say?
500,000 naira.
And at the end of the day, you don't give them admission. You're making money.
For paper, form paper. 25,000 naira.
That is why we saw, you see, look, we didn't come out with money interest. But when money was coming, we didn't say that money was not coming in. When money was coming, we don't look at it as no. Okay, that is why Unilag said, look, if you say one should come in, okay, they will come in, they will buy the form, we will make more money, but no, we don't want to exploit anybody.
So why can't you do it for free?
Why
can't you just let them come and write the exam for free?
Then you let the school fees. And then you say, okay, if you don't have this grade, this is our standard. Even in US, there's a level. There's a level. Okay, this is our grade.
It's not the same.
If you don't meet up here,
don't compare US
don't
and Nigeria.
come in. So that's why we'll not be standing as exploitative. Because if we actually want to be exploitative, they just say, no, what, let them come in. Internally, we determine those who are going to take. They say, no. Don't waste your money coming in again. Don't just come in. If you know that you can't score this grade, because why? We know what we want, and we know how to go about it. And I tell you something, gentlemen, let's be very realistic. If we go back to university and admission, if the products are bad, they know that, okay, this school is bad. Because why? Their products are bad. They are the ones that determine those who comes in. And let me tell you something, the way we work in academics, there are checks and balances. You see, the department is one that offer admission. In the department and part of that committee, we sit down, not just one person, we will sit down, determine the criteria. And nobody asks a single say. When it goes to that, it comes to faculty, they sit down, all the staff sit down to look at it again. It goes beyond that. It's set up deans of provost, committee of deans and provost, look at it again, it goes again, until the true mate comes in. It's not like I was saying it. Mr. Oyedepo is not in academics.